Are you a poultry farmer or somebody thinking about starting poultry farming, but then you're wondering what rearing system should I choose? Should I choose the battery cage system or the deep litter system? Hello viewers, welcome to another video segment. My name is Lodson and I'm a veterinarian specialized in poultry. In today's video, I'm going to answer one of the frequently asked questions about poultry business, whether you should choose a battery cage system or you should choose a deep litter system. Honestly, there have been so many studies that have been done about this. If you check the internet, you'll find lots of resources, but in this video, I'm just going to summarize those things. Alright, so as you can see, I'm in a poultry house which uses a battery cage system for rearing broilers. These broilers here are about 38 days old. Alright, so they'll be taken very soon. We raise birds in here up to 42 days, and there are in total about 45,000 birds in here. So as I'm in here, I'm going to talk about what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of a battery cage system, and then later I'll talk about the advantages and disadvantages of a deep litter system. Okay, so let's start with the advantages. Some of the advantages. Alright, so some of the advantages. If you're somebody who wants to start poultry farming but then you don't have enough space, then the battery cage system is the one for you. Alright, you can see the cages in here and the demarcations, which is the cells. I'll just call them the cells. In each cell you find about approximately 15 chickens in one cell. So they are pretty big, and then there is also some space left for them to be moving up and down. Alright, so you might consider that if you don't have enough space, that is the advantage. Then the second, if you are a poultry farmer but you have another job, right? You don't have enough time to be at the farm every time, to be monitoring the birds, to be stock taking and all those kinds of things, then the battery cage system is the one for you. Why? Because it's easy to manage. So you can just go through and then see the birds that are not doing well, those that are not eating, those that are dead. You can simply see them and isolate them. Alright, that is the battery cage system. And then if you want to make more money, then the battery cage system is the one for you, because you have so many birds in a small space. Alright, so there is the production efficiency. The battery cage is the one. Besides that, there is also the feed conversion ratio. In a battery cage system, as you can see, the birds are not going anywhere. They're not losing energy on the movements. Alright, even when you're walking through, the birds, they're still in one place. So that energy, as they take in the food, most of the energy is simply converted into the body weight. Alright, and then about the studies that have been conducted, there is one study that showed that in a battery cage system, the carcass weight is a little bit higher as compared to the battery cage system, because of the same reason I just gave you. Alright, so those are some of the advantages of using a battery cage system. And then one more thing, there is the issue of the spread of diseases. In a battery cage system, the diseases spread not as rapid as compared to the deep litter system, because here the birds, they do not come in contact with the fecal matter, with the feces. All right, they are automated conveyor belts that move the feces, so they do not come in contact with that. And then in a deep litter, of course, it's a different issue. So that is another advantage, where you won't have to spend so much on the fight against the diseases. Alright, then what about the disadvantages? So there has been so much being talked about concerning the welfare of the birds in a battery cage system, that the birds are compact. That is true. But in some cases you find that the cages are much bigger, okay, or you don't put so many birds in a cage. Even as they grow, they will still have enough space to move around. So as you are putting the birds in one cage, they don't move so much, and they tend to develop these foot pad lesions. All right, they tend to have these problems to do with the legs. Then the other disadvantage with the cage system, of course, what can I say? The birds, they don't have anywhere to escape in case of anything. For example, one of the biggest problems that I've seen in this poultry farm is where a pipe is leaking. For example, you have an odd pipe, or there is a fault somewhere, and the pipes are not that close to me, all right? They are right in the middle. When there is a leakage, the water will be everywhere. That is one scenario that I saw here. The water is everywhere and the birds have nowhere to escape, all right? So in case of a fault, such things, it's very cumbersome to really sort out such kinds of problems. So that is for the battery cage system. At the end of the day, the decision of which system that you choose is simply up to you. But those are some of the advantages and the disadvantages of choosing the battery cage system. Alright, so catch you in the next video where I'll be in a poultry house that uses a deep litter system. As you can see, I'm in a poultry house that uses a deep litter system. This is one type of the intensive type of aerial beds. The other one is a cage, battery cage systems. In this video, I'm talking about the advantages as well as the disadvantages of raising beds in a deep litter system. So, as I mentioned before, deep litter system is where you have beds that are raised on the floor, except not directly on the floor. On top of that, you have the bedding. I'm going to talk about the advantages as well as the disadvantages of raising beds in a deep litter system. If you're somebody who's just about to start, all right, if you are new to this poultry farming, of course you want to consider a deep litter system because the setup costs are very lower. They are very lower as compared to. So I'm going to talk about the advantages as well as the disadvantages of raising broilers in a deep litter system. First of all, there are two things involved here. As you can see, I'm in a commercial poultry house, but if you're somebody who's new and you are a small business farmer, right? You are somebody who is just about to start. So the first thing that you have to consider is the area. Do you have enough area? If you have enough area, of course you can put up a structure for a poultry house. The advantage is that for a deep litter system, the startup costs are going to be way cheaper as compared to the cage type of systems. There isn't much that you need. Of course, the only thing that you're going to need when it comes to the equipment, you're going to need the feeders, you're going to need the drinkers, as well as the other equipment. So the startup cost for a deep litter system is way cheaper. And as I mentioned before, with the deep litter system, of course, the feces come in contact with the litter, but that can be an advantage because it is dry litter, as it's not wet litter as compared to the cage system. So at the end of our production, you can as well sell this litter, which is manure. All right, and the other advantage also of a deep litter system is that the accumulation of gases like ammonia isn't that much because there is ventilation here, good ventilation. It is absorbed by the litter, okay, into the litter, and then it also comes out. So there is good ventilation. In the end, the accumulation of dangerous gases like ammonia is reduced. Okay. Then the other thing, what are some of the disadvantages? The disadvantages, of course, is that the beds are in an open area. In case of an infection, okay, for example, coccidiosis, it tends to spread quicker in a deep litter system because the beds are always in contact, and most of the diseases in poultry, they are through the feces. The beds tend to come in contact with the feces and transmit the diseases to other beds, so the diseases tend to spread quicker in a deep litter system as compared to the cage system. And then the biggest thing with the deep litter system is you need management practices. If you are a starter, there are some of the things that you might think they are not important, of course, like biosecurity. Okay, as you can see, part of biosecurity, there are those minor things which are not actually minor, but most people ignore them and they tend to be problematic. All right, they are wondering why the birds are dying, why this is happening. It's because of those things. Management is the key when it comes to a deep litter system. So it might be considered as a disadvantage for somebody who doesn't know much about raising birds. Then the other disadvantage also is that you know you have a huge area and then only a small number of birds. In the other video, I talked about a poultry house, which is the same size as this one. It has about 45,000 beds. In here, we only have 35,000. So there you can see already a difference of 10,000. If you're a business person, of course, you want maximum production so that you can make more profit. All right. So there goes another disadvantage. In a duplicator system, you won't have a higher production. Okay. Then the other thing is with the duplicator system, the birds are moving. They're running up and down. Okay. The energy they are taking is being wasted into walking and running up and down. All right. But you want that energy to be converted. Okay. You want the energy to be converted to the weight, to the carcass. All right. In a duplicator system, that is not going to happen most of the time because the birds are always losing energy on moving up and down. Alright, so there you have it. Those are some of the things that I wanted to tell you about. At the end of the day, the decision is yours, which system that you choose, whether you choose a duplicator system or you choose a cage, a battery cage system. Alright, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Kindly give it, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment, let me hear what you think. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.